want to get aborted? Or do you just want to get aborted? Jokes aside, this new one is out here. It's called Maniacult. This is the legendary Belgian band that does is death metal meeting grind, obviously. Band has been out since 1995 and, well, they became one of the household names for Belgium extreme metal scene. The good thing is, Aborted never fails. It delivers you quality extreme metal in the terms of death metal with a little bit of grind. The bad side is, well, it's not one of those bands that change its style phenomenal ways, and as such is kind of a trap to its own style. Now, whether or not that is a good news or bad news, it's up for each individual. Now, I must be a really boring person because I've liked pretty much all the Aborted albums almost the same amount. That is pretty much very solid 8 out of 10 band year after year after year. The boring part comes to that, in my opinion, Aborted never made to so-called platinum or high top tier with its, 10 out of 10 albums. I mean, well, only a selected few bands in the world actually do that, but the good thing is, Aborted never also made the 6 out of 10 kind of a boring mediocrity albums, which then again, so many quality bands have been able to put out. So, I don't know, the tricky question here is, which one you rather go? A band that releases, say, 5 or 10, 8 out of 10 albums, or a band which maybe does 10 out of 10 albums, but also goes for 6 out of 10s. Now, that's beyond the point of this video. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Maniacult here, which is a continuation to very lengthy discography by the band. Now, if you take a look at this metal archive site, to take a look at the discography by the band, you will see that past few years it's been mostly about releasing individual songs, that is, singles. Now, there was this, once again, a good EP called La Grande Masquerade in 2020. That is last year. And before that, Pure Vision 2018. And also a lot of singles before that. But before that, basically the band was putting out album every 2-3 years, basically. And that has been going on since the very first album, 1999. But like I said, Aborted never failed to deliver a good album. Rather good album at worst. And basically, being just kind of a household name that does really well done extreme metal, combining elements of grind and death metal together. So what's different with Maniacult then? Nothing really. Now we go to the negative sides first and end up in positivity. The negative things would be, yeah, those drums, well, they are kind of sounding very clinical, it's almost like too much. Just almost. Now bear with me. There are no major mistakes, no big flaws on this album, and that is one of the good things. That is one of the features that actually make this really worthwhile and listening to. The other minor, only a tiny bit of a flaw, which I could say, is this thing that this album feels like it's just almost too much put into 40 minutes. That is, it's like you barely have the time to focus on the details. Like, hey, let's just listen to those wonderful guitar details or things what they're doing there, because the pace is almost entirely through the album quite fast. That is, it doesn't really give you this breathing space, if you will. That is, after the kind of a slow intro, which is actually pretty good because it's kind of ominous and, more slow-paced, at least in the terms of being aborted, kind of a mid-tempo and all. But since, the pedal to the metal starts happening, when the gas pedal is put there and put down, it's all like, pure aggression, fast, fierce, and all that stuff. Now, obviously, this isn't a problematic, since that's basically what you're expecting from a death grind band. But I kind of feel that it would have made this album a little bit better, tiny amount at least, if there was more, say, these breathing spaces. If the tempo was more like, okay, let's just, let our breathe for a while and then head for another set of aggression. No. Otherwise, this album is really, really good. That is, those kind of double vocals, growlier parts and screamer sides, they work, nicely hand in hand, if you will. And those guitar parts, I mean, they're fierce riffs, which are like, yeah, this could be a mosh part, just a little bit too fast maybe. But overall, this sounds, both production-wise and songwriting, very, very solid Aborted album. It doesn't let you down. It doesn't, bore you down with the fact that, because it's, only 40 minutes. If this would have been, say, 50, 60 minutes or something like that, it would have been maybe too much, given the genre. Now, it's mostly fast tempo, it's mostly very brutal, and it's not pure death metal, but let's be honest about it, the grindier parts are not that many. And in my opinion, it's a good thing, because I'm more a death metal guy than guy being into the grind. And the songs are not too lengthy either. I mean, if you take a look at this Metal Archive site, you can pretty much see it's mostly operating with 3 to 4 minutes, which is just enough. I mean, you don't really need 6-minute songs to deliver this kind of a death metal thing. I mean, it's not doom metal. Now, overall, I would say this is a strong death metal album, one of the better ones in 2021. But, like I said, it's not out of ordinary when it comes to Aborted. So it's one of those chapters that delivers you very, very solid an album, but nothing beyond that. Could this be one of the better Aborted albums in the future, in the years to come, when you take a hindsight to the whole discography? Might be. But really, it depends which kind of, details you are going for. In my opinion, this could be one of the best ones. This could be one of the middle ones. Definitely not the worst ones. It's a solid, good release by Aborted, already out on September 10th. So, go listen. It's out on your favorite streaming services, and let's hope that the geeks will be there to bring Aborted to your home or a venue nearby. Meanwhile, go listen to it. Bye-bye.